Kevin, how quickly did you think John Chavis would have an impact on this program, and did you think it would be this quickly?
Can you hear me? Yeah, we wouldn't have been so aggressive in our pursuit. As I said before, he's a guy that I've always had respect for as a coach, playing against his defenses and the way that philosophically how he does things. And so, like I said earlier, I think it was a good fit for us and a good fit for him too. And a guy with knowledge, not just as a schematic knowledge, but what he brings to the table and experience, and what he brings to the table in particular experience in big ball games and in our league. So, yeah, I think the buy-in, as I said, in the off-season was immediate by our kids. And, I think we were missing a couple guys tonight, particularly at linebacker. And so, I think the good news is that some of our better players weren't involved in this game at linebacker, and we get those guys back. We'll see where we are.
Kevin, talk a little bit about what a victory like this does.
Who's that?
Right here.
Okay.
A victory like this does for you guys this early on, and the way you guys were able to turn it on in the fourth quarter.
Well, I don't know. If you learn anything, you learn from last year. It doesn't mean much of anything. I will say this. Somebody knew something. We weren't ranked, but we were favored. So somebody was right and somebody was wrong. I don't understand that, but that's a good football team, and very, very talented. They're fast, well coached. So for us to come in and play the way we played for 60 minutes, I think is really, really something that we can build off of. Because, as I said, we've got other guys that are going to play significant roles that got better in the off season. A lot of freshmen that are now sophomores, and what a difference a year makes for them physically. It's just all around. It took any time you win a game like that, it wasn't one person. It was a three-phase win. The offense did what we needed to do, and late in the game, our defense stayed solid the whole night, and our special teams were outstanding. The punt return for a touchdown, excellent coverage on kickoff cover. I don't know how many times we tackled inside the 20, and then and punt coverage. So anytime, and it was a field position game, and I thought our special teams were able to maintain our field position and maybe put Arizona State in some bad spots while we're struggling offensively. So, for us, like I said, it's a three-part deal, and it's good to see a team win like that, particularly this early in the season.
Kevin, if we could ask you particulars, especially about the D-line, if you could speak to the havoc that the defensive line created with 14 tackles for loss and 9 sacks.
Yeah, it was one of those games. I thought our front, we rotated a lot of guys in there. I said before the season, it's really the first time we're able to get too deep, and the inside guys rotated. Kingsley Kiki and Dalen Mack, 2 freshmen that got in there and played substantial minutes. The ends are rotating, and that's, you're able to keep Day and Miles fresh because of Quaylen Cunningham and Jared Johnson. So that depth is a big deal in a game like this, and it's going to be a big deal moving forward. And that's that's going to be the key to our success across the board. If we got to stay healthy, but we have enough bodies up front now to rotate guys in and keep them fresh, and I think that's important.
Kevin, with the quarterbacks over here,
okay,
with Allen and Murray, how did you decide to rotate them and kind of base that decision in game? Was it a feel thing? I mean,
yeah.
was it pre-planned? And then,
no.
And then secondly, Allen, when he stayed in the third quarter, fourth quarter, did you see him kind of find more of a rhythm and
Sure.
take more of a command?
Yeah, I mean, there's I can't say enough about both those guys. I told Kyle after he scored the touchdown on the run and came over, I said, hey, listen, that's big time, because a year ago I don't know that you would have done that. The way Kyler came in, I think Kyler came in and gave us a spark, really brought the crowd into it, brought our guys into it right before the half with something different. maybe put them on their heels a little bit. They had some free runners to the quarterback. He made a miss, and we put him back in when we were sputtering, and gave us another spark in the third quarter. So, both those guys, I think, handled the moment. I think Kyle coming back, as you said, with Kyler having a little bit of success and the crowd juiced up, and to come back and go down the field the way he went was a big deal. And that's, as I said before, he's maturing physically and mentally, and being able to handle that and still lead and close out the game says a lot about both those guys.
Also, in regards to the QB rotation, was there what prompted your decision to rotate the QBs, and was there any consideration of the possible negative effects of it on
No,
either QBs?
I don't think that way.
Kevin, how big of a deal was it for over here?
Oh, yeah.
How big of a deal was it for you to have guys like Christian Kirk, Mack, and Kyler Murray come in as young guys and make as big of an impact as they did tonight?
Yeah, we were just talking about that. You look at Dalen with a tackle for loss and played a lot of minutes. Christian Kirk, a dynamic player. There's a bunch of guys out there, freshmen that Kyler, Justin Evans, who's a first-year, one of the better junior college safeties in the country, had an impact on this game as a first-year player. A bunch of those new guys. We started a freshman left guard in Keaton Sutherland. And we had a number of guys go in the game and have impact as freshmen, and they're really good players that came here for a reason, and those guys are going to play, and fortunately, they're as advertised. Against really quality competition, they showed up. And not only they showed up, they played very well. So, future's bright for those young guys, and as I told them in there. Let's see how they handle it as a team. We got to learn from last year. I think where we are right now is not much different than where we were a year ago, but but we're a year older with a lot of guys on the field, and we got to listen to what's inside our building, not what's going to be on television and what's on the internet. So and I think our guys this year. Right now, they understand that after going through what they went through last year, and that's the kind of maturity it's going to take for us to play like that every week.
Got time, two more in the middle and then to the back.
Kevin, first, could you talk about just your offense seems to be one that kind of needs to get into a rhythm and to play this defense starting out, how you think about how that matchup went and what you like most about what you're seeing from your team defensively?
Would you say offensively or defensively?
Offensively first, in terms of your offense seems to be one that needs to get into a rhythm, and
Sure.
This defense is obviously
right. And this
physical.
Arizona State, it's their trademark. It's a team that lives blitzes almost every snap. We saw a lot of zero blitz. We got two young guys. We got one quarterback that's played 5 or 6 games, including the bowl game, and one guy that was the first time he's out there. We knew they were going to. And turn it up. I didn't know they were going to blitz almost every snap, though. But and it was very, very difficult for us to run the ball just because of the numbers. I thought that, as the game went on, we stayed with it, and obviously we had some success towards the end of the game. But it was tough sledding in there early, and they made us, really forced us and dared us to throw the football. And we were going to have to continue to improve there. We're going to see some other teams, and we're going to get some explosive players, and we did have some explosive plays. But going forward, as our guys start to get more and more healthy, and we get our guys going and our passing attack going, we've got the guys on the perimeter. We just got to make sure that number one, we're putting them in the right position, and number two, we can execute it defensively. It's a hell of a performance by a number of people. The coaches had a great plan. I thought our D-line was active, and our secondary was extremely active. And our safeties and corners challenged balls. Not a whole lot of wide-open people. And when they were, they came up and were physical. So, you would have to say, looking at it as a coach, we got a lot of things to work on right now. But to be where we are after game one as a coach, you gotta we got to be looking ahead for this week and how we handle this and going forward. You know, we'll get some guys back as time goes on.
Hey, Coach, way back here. You kind of touched on it a little bit there, but it wasn't just the defensive line that was getting to the passer. Donovan Wilson also had a great game. How would you assess how he played tonight?
Yeah, you know, this guy, what did he have in the bowl game? They see 8 or 9, 10 tackles.
Yeah, he
led the team in tackles in the bowl game. He's kind of an unsung hero. You know, we started 2 true freshmen back there in Armani Watson and Donovan against West Virginia in the bowl game, and all he did was have double-digit tackles. And now he's playing a little bit more nickel, and he can play safety. He can blitz. I thought the biggest difference too was I thought our open field tackling was very good. They had some chances for some plays, and you know we missed a couple, but in general, I thought we tackled well tonight, and it had a lot to do with those 3 guys back there: Armani, Donovan, Justin Evans, covering a lot of ground back there and letting our corners play man to man. And those guys kind of roam in the middle of the field. They covered up for a lot of different things.
All right, Coach.
All right, thank you.